day 5 of this series, and we're going to be starting in a resting position so we can start to focus in a little bit of a different shape when it comes to our breathing as well. Okay, so get yourself nice and comfortable. If you need to have a block, oh, I'm just see Carrie there. Let me just admit her in. If you need to have any kind of block underneath your pelvis or behind your knees, feel free to do so. Get yourself as comfortable as possible. I'm just going to have my block ready and waiting in case I need it. And you're just going to take your knees apart, big toes together, let your hips settle back, and if you've got knee issues, pad yourself, and then start by walking your hands down just onto your forearms to begin with. Make any adjustments that you need, maybe move your ribs slightly from side to side, and then start to lower your forehead to the ground and just let your arms and hands settle wherever feels best for you. And we're going to close eyes and just allow yourself to focus on your breath for a moment. And you can breathe in and out through the nose, or if you prefer, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And taking just a gentle scan over your body and noticing any areas of tension or discomfort. Make any adjustments to your body position that you need. And then see if you can allow yourself to soften and release with each exhale. And stay connected to your breath. Start to extend and lengthen each exhale, even if it's just a second longer than your breath in, and just allowing your body to calm, allowing your mind to find stillness. And stay with this gentle breath. And bringing your awareness to the back of your ribs, your lungs, and the back of your heart. And as you feel your ribs expanding and releasing with your breath, notice the gentle wave that travels down your spine towards your pelvis. Notice the gentle wave that travels up towards your neck and towards your head. Just feeling that gentle response to each breath. Staying here for just a few more moments. Bringing a gentle awareness to your energy, noticing how you feel this morning. Noticing any emotions that may be coming up for you as you just pause for a moment and breathe. And just allow any emotions or feelings to be with you. Don't have to chase them away. There's no judgment. See if we can just observe for a moment. And taking one more deep breath in, fill your body with energy, oxygen. Open your mouth and long exhale. Taking your time as you draw yourself up onto all fours. And just noticing as you come up how the circulation starts to move through your legs, through your pelvis, through your spine, and through your shoulders. And let's start moving into a gentle cat stretch. Start by rounding your spine up towards the sky, pushing away from your hands as you tuck your chin in. And then start to lengthen your spine, reaching your tail out, and just coming into a neutral position just for a moment. And then again, start to round your spine up towards the sky, feeling the lift of your belly underneath you. And this time, as you come back to the center, let's go just a little bit past neutral. So it's a very soft extension of the spine. And again, using your breath, tuck your tail, push out of your hands, rounding through the spine, and then start to lengthen. And again, we're just going to see if we can increase our range a little bit more, lifting tail, heart, and eyeline. Taking 2 more rounds, and really focus on connecting your movement to your breath. And it doesn't matter when you're breathing in or when you're breathing out. Find your rhythm. Find your breath cycle. And taking just one last extension of the spine. And then come all the way back to the center. Make sure that your wrists are happy. Tuck your toes under, and we're just going to hover the knees up. So pushing into the hands and the feet, lifting your knees, taking a moment just to weight load onto all those major joints, finding the energy running up from the fingertips, wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Let the energy run up from the knuckles of the toes, your ankles, knees, and hips. Taking one more breath in, and then exhale, release all the way down. Let your feet relax out. Now stay in a neutral position of your spine and start moving your hips backwards and then moving your shoulders forwards. And again, as you transfer your body weight, notice right here how these upper body muscles connect. Those are the latissimus dorsi muscles. And when you shift forward, do you notice the muscles around the lower abdominals, around the pelvis start to switch on? Just a gentle shifting of weight. Taking 2 more. Activating upper body. Activating lower body. Last one, shifting back. And shifting forward. And then settle yourself right here. Just take the right hand and turn it outwards and see if you can get your fingers pointing a little bit backwards towards you. So just the right hand today. And you can stay here if it's a pretty good stretch, or you can add just a little bit of a shifting body weight back, just like we did a second ago, but it's probably going to be much smaller. And finding that stretch into the carpal tunnel. So that's at the front of the wrist, maybe up the forearm a little bit. If you really tighten this arm line, you might feel it in the bicep and the shoulder even. And then come back to the center, and then bring that right hand all the way to the front again. And now let's do the same thing with the left hand. So pivoting the hand back. Just notice if you can get your hand into the same position on this side. And then decide if you want to shift body weight backwards and forwards, or you can just stay where you are. And notice if it's giving you a stretch in the same muscles here. So it's interesting, on my left side, I'm much more aware of it on my baby finger side. So I've obviously got a little bit of a tightness there. Just taking a few more. Stay with your breath. And bring your shoulders forward, and then bring that left hand all the way around to the front. We're about to go into a downward facing dog. So get your hands comfortable, spread your fingers out, tuck your toes under. Start just by lifting the knees up. Move your hips back, and then lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Stay here for a moment. Really focus on rooting into your hands and reaching up through your tail. And then you start to pedal the heels down. Getting that stretch all the way up the back of the leg. Taking just a few more. And then push both heels down towards the ground. You can have your legs bent if you wish. Focus on lengthening the spine. Create some space for yourself. Take a breath in. And then exhale, releasing all the way down and releasing the feet all the way back. Open your knees, big toes together, sit your hips back, and once again, just stay here for a moment, bringing the forearms down, maybe just doing a little bit of a wiggle side to side, and then bring your head towards the ground. And you can stay here as we did before, or if you would like to increase the stretch, walk your hands forward and see if you can stretch the elbows. Spread the fingers out. And then if it's available to you, you could even do a little bit of a rolling action of the upper body from side to side to really deepen that stretch along the lats, along the side of your body. And it's such a lovely mobilization of the thoracic spine. And then settle back to the center, stretching those arms, take a breath in. And then once again, draw yourself up onto all fours, bringing the knees hip distance, getting your wrist into a happy place. We're going to go into a front support basic position. So reach the right leg back, tuck the toes under onto the floor. Now, before you go anywhere else, squeeze that thigh muscle so the leg is straight, level out your pelvis and your shoulders, and then push into your hands, push into your foot, and stretch the other leg back to join. So be aware that you're not gripping your bum cheeks here. The bum cheeks are perky, they're engaged, but you are not tucking through the pelvis. Keep reaching forward through the crown of your head. Stay with your breath. So again, we're loading all the major joints of the body here. Take one more breath in, and then slide the right knee in, slide the left knee in, reach your left arm out to the side, and coming into a thread the needle, resting head, resting shoulder. Now we're going to stay here just for a moment, and you can either keep your right hand on the floor, or perhaps today you would like to take your hand and just place it into your lower back. So it gives quite a nice opening along the right shoulder. If your neck feels vulnerable, maybe put your right hand back onto the floor for that support. Staying here for just a few more breaths. And take a moment to notice how this twist of your spine affects your breathing, because we are literally squeezing the left lung a little bit. And then bring that right hand onto the ground. Up you come. Reach the left arm out to the side. Stay here. And then bend the left elbow. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what I'm doing. You bend the left elbow so that you're actually going to do a little bit of a salute. Bring your left elbow towards the right elbow. It doesn't matter if they touch or not. And then open the left elbow, and then let your heart follow. And again, bringing the left elbow towards the right. And open. Connect your movement to your breath. Take 2 more. Exhale and open. And one more time. Exhale, lift. Come back to the center and placing the left hand down. Thread the needle the other side. Right arm reaches. Coming into a thread the needle. Just allowing the head to settle. Stay there just for a moment. And then if you want to increase the stretch, you have a choice to put your left hand up onto your back. Maybe around the hip. And just notice how it feels on your neck. Staying for just a few more moments. Just enjoying the breath. Notice how the twist of your spine gives a little squeeze on the right lung now. Put your left hand to the mat. Reaching the right arm out to the side. And then bend that elbow and make a little salute. Bring your right elbow towards the left elbow. And then open up and let your heart follow that line of the arm. And again, use your breath however it feels best for you. Taking 2 more. Taking 1 more. Come back to the center and placing the right hand down. We're once again going into a downward facing dog. To get your wrists happy, tuck the toes under, lift your knees just up, and then move your hips back. Lengthen up through the tail, and once again, pedal the heels. Getting that release all the way along the back line of the body. And then pushing both heels towards the ground. Stay here for a moment. Find a little bit of release through the back of the neck if you can. And now you're going to pick up your right leg, not too high, and you're going to bring your knee towards the right elbow and let your shin come down to the floor. And then pivot your foot across your mat and start to walk the left leg back. So we're coming into a pigeon pose. So this is where, if you're tight in the hips, you could put like a little block or a cushion under the right pelvis. And then bring yourself down as low as it feels comfortable for you. And again, you might want to put a block underneath your head. And what you should be getting here is a stretch around the right deep hip, around the gluteal at the back. If you're feeling it in your knee, then you need to adjust something. So please just find the position that works for you. And we're going to stay here for total about 45 seconds. So we're about halfway there. And it can bring up quite a bit of discomfort, and people want to fidget and move away. And see if you can just allow your breath to carry you through the discomfort here. Tune in each inhale and each exhale. Notice how you're feeling. Is there anything that comes up for you here that makes you want to step back? And are you able to take just one more breath in and one more breath out, and to just be with that discomfort? Know that you are okay. Then on your next breath, start to walk your hands all the way back up. If you do have a prop underneath your hip, you might just want to slide it out. Pushing into your hands, tuck the back toes under and lift the leg up. So you're sort of releasing the pressure on your hips slowly. And then take your time as you step back and come once again into that downward facing dog. And then pedal the heels down. Push both heels towards the ground. Stay there just for a moment, relaxing into the back of the neck. And now pick up the left leg. Bring the left knee towards the left wrist and just put your shin down. Pivot your foot diagonally across and let yourself slide back. Remember, you can use your props if you want to put it underneath the left bum this time. Make your way down into a sleeping pigeon. Find a little bit of support for your head. Get your neck and shoulders as easy as possible. And then just make any final adjustments that you need so that your knees are happy, your hips are feeling a stretch, but they're not in pain. And then just settle into it. Stay here for another 30 seconds. Deep inhale and an extended exhale. And perhaps just notice that point where you want to fidget or to move away. And just see if you can take one more breath in and one more breath out. Just to stay with that discomfort. Breathe through it. Observe what comes up for you. What is the conversation that you're having with yourself right now? And taking one more breath in and out. Slowly make your way up onto your hands. Rooting into your hands. Remove the prop if you have one there. Tucking the back toes under. And then just lifting your knee and your pelvis up just to release some of the pressure. Pushing into your hands and then step back slowly into that downward facing dog. Pedaling through the heels. And then press both heels towards the mat. Soften into the back of your neck. Lift as high as you can onto the balls of your feet. So you stretch the bottoms of the feet. And then push both heels down again. Let your knees come to the mat. Open your knees wide, big toes together. Sit back. And once again, come down into your resting position. Walk your hands as far forward as your shoulders allow, lifting the elbows. And then if you want to increase it, you can push onto the tips of the fingers and lifting the wrists up gently. And just finding that opening along the front arm line. Noticing the stretch coming all the way up into the armpits, around the shoulders, down the side of your body as you breathe. And then let your hands come all the way down. Spread your fingers out. And once again, draw yourself up onto all fours. Just bringing the knees hip distance apart. Taking your hands quite wide apart now, almost to the width of your mat maybe. Slide the right leg back and keeping the pelvis level, just lift your leg up and then lower the leg down again. And as you lift your leg up, Double checking that you're not collapsing into the lower back, and release. Taking 3 more. So we're just finding a little bit of activation into the gluteus maximus. Taking 2 more. Reaching through your crown. 1 more. Lift up. Now hold it here. We're going to step our foot in between our 2 hands. So you might need to lift your hand up a little bit. You might need to go onto your fingers. You might even need to help yourself with your hand. That's fine. Do a little bit of a wiggle of the toes. And then bring your hands up onto that knee. If your left knee on the floor needs some padding, pop a little towel underneath or a pillow. And then just come up for a moment. Find your balance by focusing your eye line, connecting to your core. And then we just start shifting body weight forwards and backwards. And again, forwards and backwards. We're going to do 1 more time. Keep the abdominals connected and backwards. Now hold it here. Keep the right hand down and then bring the left hand all the way up. You're going to keep that arm lifted and do the same shifting of body weight. So now with the arm lifted, it's adding that little bit of extra tension onto that front line. So now as you come forwards and backwards, you're probably going to notice a particular point where you feel quite a lovely stretch into the hip flexor, maybe up into the abdominals, depending on where you're tight. And now I want you to find your best position for your stretch. So I'm feeling a really lovely opening in my hip when I'm in this position here. Now you're going to lean towards the right and release to the center. And again, lean over to the right and back to the center. Can you notice how it adds to the stretch yet again? And release. Let's do 1 more time. And release. And then bringing your hands all the way down. Put your hands flat down. Tuck the back toes. And let's just see if you can pick up that back knee. And then release it down. And again, pick up that knee. And release. 1 more time. Push into your hands and see if you can step your right leg back. Just hold your plank pose again. Remember that it's not about gripping the bum. It's about engaging the gluteals, energy through your crown, energy through the heels of your feet. Bringing your right knee in, bringing your left knee in. Make any adjustments you need, and we're ready to move on to the left side. Stretching the left leg back. You're going to pick the leg up, engaging gluteals, and then releasing down. As you pick your leg up, double check that you're not dropping into the lower back. And release. And we're going to take 3 more. Last 2. So the lower abs have to work quite hard here. 1 more. Lift your leg up, stay there, and now you're going to step your foot between your hands. Help yourself as much as you need. Bring your hands up onto the knee. Give yourself padding underneath the right knee if you need. Widen your base if you need. And then let's just bring body weight forwards and backwards. So again, if you've got any issues around the lower back or around the sacroiliac joint, you might want to keep this quite small. Really focus on the lower ab connection. Bring yourself back and hold it. Left hand stays, right hand reaches up. Find the tensioning, and then once again, shifting forwards and back. And this is where you might notice that your balance goes a little bit off. So be sure that you're focusing your gaze and that you feel a connection into your center, into your core. And now find your best stretch and hold it there. Now lean a little bit to the left and release back. And again, a little lean and release. Taking 3 more. And I find this quite an intense stretch around my hip. So don't force it. Using your breath, it's a soft release. Come to center, hold. And now bringing your hands all the way down. Go flat onto the palms of your hands. Tuck the back toes. And then just see if you can pick up that back knee. And release. And again. One more time. Lift up. Now root into your hands and step that left leg back. Make any adjustments you need, finding that long, straight line of the body. Keep pressing away from your hands so your upper body is strong. The lower abs are strong. The gluteals are active. The quadriceps are strong. Bring your left knee in. Bring your right knee in. Open your knees wide. Sit back. And once again, settle yourself down. Coming into your resting position. Walking your hands forward. And this time, let's walk both hands over to the left side of the mat. Bring your head and your shoulders with you. So you're getting an opening along the right side of the body. And if it feels good for you, you could add that little rotation of the spine that we did before. And then just holding it there, taking another deep inhale and exhale. And then walking your hands across your mat over to the right side. So now you're going to be feeling a stretch along the left side of your body. And again, you can add that little rolling action of the ribs and the spine. And then just pause, taking one more deep breath in. And exhale, walking your hands all the way back to the center. Stay here for a moment. And then bring your hands back towards your knees. And you're just going to bring the knees into parallel. Come a little bit forward so that you can tuck the toes under. You're going to have your hands really close to your knees. Push into your hands and just see if you can roll yourself back so you're in a rounded spine position, but you're going to have quite a nice stretch around the calf muscles, the Achilles. Keep your hands where they are, and now see if you can lift your hips up towards the sky and push your heels into the ground. If you're able to straighten your knees, then give yourself a stretch there. And then bend your knees to come all the way down into your crouch again. Roll over your feet so that your knees can come towards the mat. Take a moment here, rooting into your hands. Feel free to move the hands if you need. And then push back, rounding the spine. And then lifting your hips up. Giving yourself a stretch along the back of your legs. Stay here for a moment. And then bend your knees, coming all the way into your crouch. Rolling over your feet. Bringing your knees back to the floor. It's quite a strong stretch around the plantar fascia. We're going to do one more time. Here we go. Push into your hands, roll back, rounding into the spine. Rooting into the hands, lifting your hips. Finding a little bit of stretch along your hamstrings. Bending your knees, come down into a crouch. Rolling over the feet, placing the knees down, and then just allowing the feet to relax back. And let's come into our mermaid seat. So you're going to bring your right shin to the front, left leg towards the back. Just put your right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left shin, lengthen up through the spine, and take a moment to close your eyes. Bringing your awareness to your breath once more. Nice deep, full inhale with an extended exhale. Taking a moment to soften and release any areas of tension that you may be holding. And on your next breath, blinking your eyes open, taking your right hand, reaching the right hand all the way up, and start to lean over towards the left. And settling here just for 3 breaths in and out. So if you need to move your head position to release tension through the neck, feel free to do so. And focus on energy through the fingertips. So you don't want your elbow to bend or collapse. So reaching through the fingertips just to help create that sense of opening, lengthening, and expansion along the right side of your body. And on your next breath, coming all the way up, placing now that right hand slightly behind you, left hand comes onto the knee, lift your spine up, and just start coming into a little bit of a twist towards the right side. Still creating space, using your breath. So there's no pulling or forcing with the arms. The arms are there to offer guidance and support as your breath brings you a little bit deeper into that twist. Releasing slowly back to the center. And now help yourself as you unfold that left leg, reaching it out towards the side. You're going to bring that right foot quite high up into your pelvis, and then reaching both arms all the way up, placing your hands onto the floor in front of you. So for some people, you get your fingertips to the ground, and that's pretty much it. That's as far as you can go. If you are more flexible, you can bring your hands flat, and if you're really super duper flexible, you can come down onto your forearms, or even place your head to the floor. I'm not quite there. So staying here for a moment, think about opening up across the heart and the chest. Think about lengthening the spine, and you actually want to make sure that both of your sit bones are still connected to the ground. It is so tempting to lift the left bum up. So take a moment to settle the left bum to the floor. And this is called the half dragonfly. Taking one more breath in and out. And then walking your hands all the way back up. We're simply going to switch to the other side. So bend your left leg in front, taking your right shin out towards the side. And now, left hand on the knee, right hand onto the shin. Make any adjustments that you need and close your eyes. Full inhale. with an extended exhale. And noticing how your connection to your breath gives you an opportunity to notice areas of tension and to consciously soften, release, and adjust where you need. And on your next breath, blinking your eyes open, keep holding onto your shin. Left hand reaches all the way up and start leaning over towards the side. Make any adjustments that you need. So if you're feeling any pressure around the knee, you might want to support yourself. Turn your head if you need to, if you're feeling tension through the neck. And just being aware of that energy up through the left hand. Taking one more breath in. And on the exhale, coming all the way up. And now, left hand goes to the floor behind you. Right hand goes to the knee. Lengthen your spine and start coming into a little bit of a twist. Staying here for 3 breaths in and out. Softening and releasing through the neck and the shoulders. Opening up across the front of your chest. And using your breath to deepen the twist. Coming slowly back to the center. Unwind, stretch out that right leg. Bringing the left foot quite high up into that inner thigh. Reaching up. And now bringing both hands into the front. So either to fingertips or flat hands or down onto the forearms or just walking forward a little bit. But really focus on lengthening up through the crown of your head, keeping both bum bones connected to the ground. So it's not about rounding over and getting your head to the floor. It's about lengthening through the spine and creating space. Half dragonfly. Taking one more breath in and out. And then bringing your hands all the way back in. And help yourself as you bend the knees. I'm going to turn so that I'm sitting lengthways on my mat. And stay here just for a moment, knees together, feet together, and tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. So I'm actually using my arms to pull myself in nice and tight. I almost feel like I'm getting a compression around the hips and around the shoulders. Taking one breath in. And then exhale, just soften. And coming all the way upright. Separate knees and feet. Arms reaching all the way out. Take a breath in. Roll down onto your backs. Use your arms to help you if you need some assistance. Controlling the movement. And just allow your arms to settle beside you. Bring your feet a little closer towards your bum or slide down the other way if you need to get onto your mat again. And just take a moment here to find that neutral pelvis position and do a little bit of a tilt with the hips. So as you rock your pelvis forwards and backwards, just allowing that movement to travel up through your spine. Feeling the movement mostly in the lower back, the lumbar spine. But notice how there's a ripple effect through the thoracic spine, cervical spine, and maybe you even notice your head tilting forwards and backwards. And then settle your pelvis in the most comfortable position for you. Bring both hands all the way up towards the sky, palms facing each other, and let's scissor the arms. Finding some coordination, some cross patterning between the right and left sides. Synchronizing your movements. And see if you can keep your fingers together, your elbows and wrists extended so the arms are straight. And allow the movement to come from the shoulder joints and that gliding of the scapula. 2 more. 1 more. Bring both hands up. Interlock your fingers. Hands go underneath your head. And just settle there for a moment. Let your elbows drop out. Give your ribs a little bit of a wiggle, lengthening the spine. And now I want you to actually bring the elbows together. So bring your elbows up. And it's almost like they're going to try and touch in front of your face. Keep them like that. Nod your chin. And on your breath, just round your spine so your elbows are pulling towards your knees. And I want you to actually feel a stretch along the back of your neck and your upper back. And then lower yourself down. And then open your elbows a little bit. And again, nod your chin. Using your breath, let your elbows pull forward. Feeling the stretch along the back of your body. And then slowly releasing down. And again, open your elbows a little bit wider. Nod your chin. Using your breath, your elbows are going to be leading the way, but you might start to notice that the abdominals are having to do a little bit more work now. And releasing down. Let your head rest. Open your elbows a little bit more. Nod your chin. Using your breath, feel the ribs sliding forward. Releasing slowly down, controlling the movement. And then let your elbows come a little bit wider, and this is where they're going to now stay. Nod your chin. Using your breath as you slide the ribs forward, so the elbows and the hands are now supporting your head without pulling. Releasing gently back. And let's do a little bit of an add-on. On your breath, slide your ribs forward. Holding it here. Let's do a little rotation of the ribs towards the right. Come back through the center. And a little rotation to the left. Come back through the center. Keep the elbows where they are. Rotate to the right, but only go half the distance that you did before. Come back through the center. Rotate to the left, only go halfway. Come back through the center. Make sure the elbows aren't moving. Now rotate to the right, go even smaller. So now you're only 25%. Come to the center, and over to the left, only 25%. Come to the center, watch the elbows, and now 10% to the right. Center, 10% to the left. Come center, hold it, and releasing all the way down. Just allow your elbows to push back. Get a little bit of a stretch along the front of the shoulders, the chest, maybe your ribs want to lift up. And then bring your hands all the way down beside you. So decide if you want to have palms down or palms up, it's up to you. We're going up into a pelvic curl. Take a breath in. Exhale, tilt your hips. Start rolling your hips up towards the sky. Coming into a little bit of a bridge position. Stay here for a moment. Make sure that your gluteals are squeezing. And then you get to ripple down through the spine. Imprint and release. Let's go again. Take another breath in. Exhale, tilting hips. Rolling up into a bridge. Nice squeeze with the bum cheeks. And then down through your spine. And release one more time, just like that. And again, tilting hips. Rolling up. Little bit of a squeeze with the bum cheeks. Pause for a moment, see if you can relax into the neck. And ripple down through the spine. And release. So now we're going to add a little bit of back extension here. We've done this before. Tilting your hips, rolling up. So the first thing we want to focus on is that the gluteals are helping us here. And now, see if you can push your hips up a little bit higher, and you're going to start to feel that there's a shortening, there's a gentle compression into the lumbar spine. And then release it and come down. Really take your time so that you feel that imprint of the lower back at the bottom, just to help you release those back muscles on the way down. And we go again. Tilting hips. First, we're going to find that squeeze with the bum cheeks. And now, press your hips up a little bit higher and just find that loading, that work into the lumbar spine for a moment. And then make your way down through your spine. And release. And by the way, if you need to move your leg position, feel free to do so. We're going to add on a little bit more now. Tilting hips. Rolling up. Pause here. Bum cheeks are working. And then start to press your hips up a little bit higher. First, we find the lumbar spine. And now, see if you can lift your chest a little bit towards your chin. And you might start to notice that there's a little bit of squeezing between the shoulder blades now, thoracic spine. And then start to ripple down, soften through the neck, over the thoracic spine, the lumbar spine, and release. And now we're going to do one last time. Tilting hips, rolling up, starting just with gluteal connection. Pause for a moment. Push your hips up a little bit higher. There is your lumbar extension. And then lifting your chest, your heart, a little bit towards your chin, finding some thoracic extension. Stay with your breath. There's going to be a little bit of a constriction along the throat. Just gently breathe through it. And then make your way down through your spine. Finding the imprint and release at the bottom. Bring your knees and your feet together. Bring your hands a little bit wider. And then just rock your knees gently from side to side like windscreen wipers. And you can either have your feet on the floor or you can have your knees hugged to your chest, whatever feels best for you. And then center yourself. Slide one leg out along the floor. Slide the other leg out along the floor. Just let your feet completely flop. And then take your hands, place them underneath your head. Just lengthen your spine, lift your head up, give yourself a little bit of a traction stretch, and then place your head down. And then taking your right hand onto your lower abdominals, placing your left hand just onto the middle of your chest. Let your elbows relax onto the floor so that you're not holding any tension through your body. And then let your eyes close or soften your gaze as you feel comfortable. And as we finish our class, we just bring our awareness a little bit to our breath again. And again, you have a choice of breathing in and out through the nose, or you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just filling your body with oxygen and energy with each inhale, taking that beautiful full breath in. And then with your exhale, just allowing the air to softly escape, letting your body soften and release towards the ground. And seeing if you can keep that little bit of an extension, that lengthening of each exhale. Take a moment to notice your energy and how you feel after the last hour of moving and breathing. Taking one more inhale. Open your mouth, exhale and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. Bending one knee and placing your foot to the ground. Bending your other knee, placing your foot to the ground. And then take a moment just to tilt your hips a little bit. Bring some awareness back down to your pelvis, your sacrum. And then hugging one knee in towards your chest. Bring your other knee in to join it. And then maybe just rock a little bit from side to side. Bringing your legs to the center. And then hooking your hands behind your knees. We're going to do one slow roll-up. Bringing your thighs away from you, curling your spine forward, pouring your body weight down towards your feet. Just letting your head come towards your knees for a moment. Unravel your spine and lifting all the way up and tall. And then just coming into a seated position, however feels comfortable for you. As usual, I like to sit on my block. And find a little bit of length and height through your spine, rolling your shoulders back and around a few times, and then maybe just tilting your head lightly from side to side. Bringing your hands down beside you, palms facing upwards. Let's take one deep breath in, feeling your ribs expand, look up, connecting each fingertip to its partner. And exhale, opening your arms wide, bringing them all the way down beside you. And once again, roll your shoulders back. Fantastic job, you guys. Let me just turn on the audio, see if anybody has questions, comments. All right, everyone good?
All good, thank you, Renee. It was awesome.
Fantastic, Marianne.
Thanks very much, Renee.
Absolute pleasure. So you can see again, we're just sort of upping the class a little bit as we go, focusing a little bit more maybe on the weight bearing as well. And then we'll continue building on that over the next 10 days.
Fantastic.
All right.
Really
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Absolute
Beautiful
pleasure.
class. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I'll send this link to you in an email. I'll give you a reminder of the things that we're focusing on. And then just to give you a heads up already.
Yes, I'm coming.
Like we're going to be driving to Cape Town